we go again. This time I'm trying to do this right, so I created a user cluster that consists of one node. I will install and demonstrate Kasten in that user cluster. If you go to this UC01 under storage, I have 3 storage classes. They are all using SolidFire backend, and snapshot is enabled on the default storage class. There's a bunch of persistent volumes. All of them except one belong to Kasten. The one that does not is my demo application that I will try to backup and restore using Kasten. You can see that reclaim policy is retained, meaning that when persistent volume claims are deleted, the volumes remain in place until manually removed by the operator. I have a web apps namespace. In this namespace, I have one stateful app that runs an Nginx pod with a PVC for a 1 gig volume that has been created by Trident in SolidFire. Now going to Kasten, as we said before, we want to create a policy. For this demo, I have a very simple one. It takes snapshots once every hour and keeps 3 of them. There are nice features in there, such as enable backups via snapshot exports. You can, for example, export one daily snapshot, but I did not have a location profile, so I had to give up on that one because my hardware resources are not enough. What I can do is add a namespace here, web apps, and I can filter resources. In the case I have more than one, I could take those that I want to protect. I also don't have a location profile, so I had to skip that. Now, I could enable or check this option to ignore errors while taking snapshots, but this time I don't want to do this. I want to make it work. So we are good to go now. Seconds later, you can see that Kasten detects there is a policy here and identifies resources that belong to this application. So there are network resources, there are config resources, but also storage resources. If you want to export this application right now, this won't work because you need a snapshot or backup in order to have data that you can deal with. So I have to take a snapshot first using the default options. First, I check whether there are any existing snapshots on SolidFire. There is nothing in there. So going back here, I kick it off. And then I go back to activity dashboard, where I can see the progress of this snapshot job. There are 3 groups of tasks. The first one is taking a snapshot of the workload web app, which is the name of my application. It is taking a snapshot of application data. And last but not least, it is taking a snapshot of that artifact 1 gig volume. And in 22 seconds, it's done. And we can see that also in the SolidFire web UI. We can also check details of this job if you want to, for example, see the logs or see whether Kasten agrees with what you see in SolidFire or maybe in the Kubernetes Cluster Explorer. You can find all these details in here. You can also see snapshot details from SolidFire. Now, before we delete and restore, I just wanted to show you the application is working. It has no files, but it doesn't matter. I delete the application, I delete the persistent volume claim, and like I said before, the volume ends up released. It's not deleted, so it's still present in SolidFire as well, and this is the way that we can retain the snapshot for this volume. What I'm trying to do now is restore only the data. The reason why I try to do this is to see if I can restore the snapshot for other applications. So Kasten will not stop you. It will let me do that. Now, restore takes a little bit longer, and ultimately after 1 minute and 12 seconds, it fails. I can find the reason. The web app that I had is not found, so restore didn't work. Fortunately, with Kubernetes, it's very easy to reinstall it. I did this within minutes, and now I will try the same. So the application is in place. Data only restore should work. I could have restored everything together, but I already did that in the other demo the other day. So this time I'm restoring data only for an application that is in place and with which the snapshot originally was taken. You can see the failed restore was 221. This is 3 minutes later, so I restored the application really quickly and went back to restore the data only. 27 seconds later, this has been successfully completed as well.